very obvious, right? One is your blood pressure or blood which keeps moving into your nerves, which is, and on a second basis it goes through. Second is your heartbeat, and each subtler, right? As soon as you are sitting in a meditation, the first thing you will see the pulse beats. Your pulse is most visible to your or that you can hear first within your own body, the pulse, because it's moving through the entire body. Second, the subtler to it is heartbeat. You have to focus, you have to bring your body really calm to hear your heartbeat, which is a double tap sound, right? Because the heart goes in and goes out. And subtler to that is sound of your breath, which is not, not the nostril sound or when you are, you have something in your throat and you have that sound that comes out, not that, the pure sound of the breath when it moves through your windpipe. That's even more subtler because you have to be really calm. The body has to be calm. I'm not sure how many of you even tried it while you were doing it, and anybody had any experience. I'll share mine, but I wanted to hear from others as to what experience you had. Anyone? No one tried? Is that fair to assume that nobody tried? Okay, that's fine if nobody tried, but I'll tell you my experience. So I was, from last 1 week and I was trying it, I'm trying to get, like when you get to sit in a meditation position, right? Generally, you like to calm your body down. I tried, generally we do a long breath 4-5 times. We try to hold that, and then we go to a normal meditation. But what I tried doing was try to hear my pulse when I sit, and then bring the calm my body down right from toe to head, and then slowly try to find out if I can start listening to my heartbeat. At that point in time, I basically got lost because I was completely deep into it and I just could not hear anything after that when I went down that path, which is what brings us to a topic that we'll talk today. Because that is what exactly Madukya Upanishad tells you, that Om is the creator of Brahma, Om is everything. You are part of Om, and he lives in 4 segments or 4 parts. What are those parts? The first part, he calls it as Vaishvanara or Vaishva. Where have you heard this word before? Almost everybody would have heard this word, but where have you heard this word before? Am I audible to people? There's too much of silence out. That's why I wanted to check.
Yes, Sandy. Yeah, we can hear you.
So if you read Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about Vaishvanara. That's basically us, the ego, the individual ego, right? But when you go and look at the total ego of the entire universe, that's called Virata. First part, he says, he's basically segmented into 4 parts: Jagrut, Swapna, Sushupti, and Turiya. There is also Turiya Tita. If you read Lalita Sahasranama, it will talk about Turiya Tita state. But that's what the state is of the Shiva Shaksheka Rupa, which is ultimate, where everything is completely silenced. They are seeing everything, present, not present, past, present, everything is known to them. That's Turiya Tita state. We'll ignore for that. But for now, we are talking about 4 states: Jagrut, Swapna, Sushupti, and Turiya. How many of you know these states? Have you heard about it? Some form or the other. If anybody can explain what they know. Come on. It's an interactive session.
Yeah, I think Jagrat means when our mind is active and when we are awake.
Mhm.
Swapna is in like when we are sleeping, when we have that. When we dream. So
Mhm.
Shupti, I think something when we go into deep sleep, something like that.
Okay. No,
Yeah, that.
absolutely. You are
Yeah.
right. See, Jagrut is basically your state when you are completely awake, which basically in Om, he assigns that to A, Shabda A, right? Mandukya Upanishad says in the state of Jagrut, the person or the person who is living in there, he consumes the entire worldly things by using 7 limbs and 19 mouths. Right? Now, last time we spoke about what are the 19 mouths. 5 Gyanendriyas, 5 Karmendriyas, 5 Pranendriyas, which is 15. And then you have the individual ego, intellect, mind, and chitta. So these are the 19 mouths through which a person in a Jagrut state consumes everything, and he uses 7 limbs. What are the 7 limbs? Head, the head area, then you have the eyes, both the eyes, Surya Chandra, then you have fire, which is in the stomach, then you have space, air, which is swasha, space in between us, water is in the kidneys, water area, and then the limbs, which is earth. So these are the 7 limbs using which he is roaming around in that state. Because we eat, we breathe, we see, we think, and we walk. Right? That is all that we are trying to do. That is how you do it. In a Swapna state, also the same, even though in Jagrut state he is known as Vaishvanara, in Swapna he is called Tejasa. But he's still using his 7 limbs and 19 mouths. Can somebody explain how in Jagrut state, also in Swapna state, he's still using the 19 mouths and 7 limbs? Somebody. Take a guess, Minan. It's an interactive session. I'm not. More in terms of knowledge sharing. Anybody can say, how is it that in Jagrut and Swapna you have the same 7 limbs and 19 mouths? So one thing I'll tell you, let's say if you look at all the scriptures, be it Mandukya Upanishad, be it Amrita Upanishad, any of those, right? Every one of them, they start because somebody questions it. Because somebody questions it or somebody poses a question is where the whole Upanishad or all the things come into place. Same thing with Bhagavad Gita. It's all question answer session, right? So anything that you are seeing here, again, I'm not an expert, but I'm reading and I'm providing the details. But expectation is ask. That will help me also to go back and read better. If you don't ask, I will get the God ego that anyway I know everything, which I don't want. So I want people to question me so that I can read better next time. Now I'll explain why it is 7 and 19, even in Jagrut and Swapna. What he's saying is in Jagrut, what you see and how you feel it. In Swapna also, if you're having a very great dream, you are still doing exactly the way you are in a Jagrut state. I have one big car, I have a house, even though you might be a pauper in a real life, but while you are dreaming through it, you are consumed and you are feeling and seeing and experiencing the entire Swapna in a very nice way. Right? That's why it is still consuming it. The difference is that you are not using your physical eyes, you are using your pranendriyas and karmendriyas may not be used physically, but you are using it using your chitta. your self individual ego may not be there, but your mind and chitta is very, very active in a swapna state. But you are still consuming and using it. The Sushupti state is where, in a deep sleep state, they say it's a deep sleep state. Okay. But what is a deep sleep state, right? At that point in time, if you seriously realize you have no idea where you are sleeping, you are on the floor on a very cushiony bed. Is it day? Is it night? Did you have enough food to eat? Did you see, a scenic place? Is it a dirty place? You have money, you don't have money, you have education, you don't have education, you have job, you don't have job. Everything is completely blank. For that period of time, your entire karmendriyas, your jnanendriyas, your pranendriyas, ego, intellect, mind, chitta, everything becomes silent. That is where you have the pure conscious state. So when conscious state, the pure conscious states, sees through the prism of chitta, ego, intellect, is when you start seeing the swapna state or the jagrut state. That view of the prism through which you are looking at, that is what creates the entire illusion around you. So technically what Gaudapada and also Upanishad says is, everything that you are seeing here is a myth, is a what you call Maya. What is pure, always pure? Hello? Which statement is a true statement here?
A human has two hearts.
No, two horns. Like a goat, every human has two horns. We can't see it.
Okay.
Right? One statement. Second statement, humans don't even have two horns. Which is a true statement here?
Second one.
Why would you say that?
Because horns are not visible, but it's
Exactly. So point is, even the first statement could have been true. Right? If consciously you know it, maybe you may have some horn, I don't know, right? But consciously we don't see it. We can't see it with your karmendriyas, jnanendriyas, we can't see it. So we say it's not there. Correct? Similarly, what you see through the conscious prism of ego, intellect, karma, and indriyas is what you believe is to be truth, be it in a swapna state or in jagrut state. But once you reach the conscious state of Sushupti, where you have no thoughts, all your indriyas have closed, where you have no ego, no intellect, no chitta, no mind, that state is the truth of what it is. Right? What is a Turiya state? Technically, Turiya state means the fourth state. No, they have not even defined it. They are like, I don't even know what is the Turiya state. They say it's a Turiya. That's all. Right? The Turiya state is where that conscious living, you live 24/7. Like most of, like Patriji. Although he is living in the world, seeing the world, experiencing the world, but consciously, internally, he is living in the state of Turiya. Even if it is Jagrut, Swapna or Sushupti. That's the stage where all those great masters are generally into. The question is why are we even talking about Jagrut, Swapna, Sushupti states? Right? So let me ask this. It's not as simple to say, by the way, you are in a Jagrut state or you're in a Swapna state or you're in Sushupti state. Technically, no human is in one single state. That's why I created a grid here. When you think about it, you have your mind and your chitta, the internal inside body, right? Causal body and you have your experiencing body, right? Both the bodies are generally not in a state of sync every time. Let me ask this question. How many times has it happened to any one of you that you are trying to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning? Your eyes are awake, everything is all good, you are like energetic, your eyes are open, you are almost awake, but something tells you to go back to sleep. How many times has it happened to people? Or the other way around, something is telling you to get up and do it, but your physical body, somewhere you are feeling I'm tired, I cannot get up, you're creating excuses. How many times has it happened to anyone?
Daily.
Correct. So do you realize at that point in time that you are having a contradictory two people talking to each other?
Yes.
So technically what has happened, your physical body is in a Jagrut state where eyes are wide open at 3 o'clock in the morning. You are seeing everything, knowing it, but your inner body, the causal body is telling you, go back to Swapna. It was a nice dream. Why did you break it? Let's go back to sleep. Because you are not in Sushupti state, but you are in a causal state. You're telling you to go back to Sushupti, to Swapna state. So technically, any point in time, even if you are in a Jagrut state or in a Swapna state, you are not in a single state. You are generally cross-section between two because there are two parts of your body. Causal and the real. Right? Agreed? Do you agree or anybody has any doubts on that? So everybody agrees. So now I'll ask one thing, right? When you are doing meditation, which grid will you fall into? Simple question. When you are doing your meditation, which grid would you fall into?
Jagrata, conscious.
And say Jagrat state is you are awake. If you are awake, you are not meditating. I'm talking, I'm in a Jagrat state. But technically, I'm not in a Jagrat state. Why? If you look at, my Jagrat state, the words which are coming from my mouth are coming very subconsciously. I am not in a Jagrut state where every word which comes in, I am able to relate from where is it coming, how is it coming, and why is it coming. I'll give an example, right? You go to your office when you drive a car. How many of you do you know how many traffic lights are there from your office to your home to your office? Or how many turns do you take? I can bet none of us.
Yeah,
We sit in the
just
car,
go,
we
yeah.
know where we are going, just going straight through.
Yeah.
So your body is Jagrut, but your mind is not in a Jagrut state. You are thinking, something else is going on in your mind. You're listening to something. You're distracted. Right or no?
Yeah.
So when you are doing your meditation, which state are you in? You are in Jagrut for sure because you're sitting. You're not dreaming or daydreaming. But then slowly you're trying to move towards Sushupti state, correct? This is where you're trying to get the combination into Jagrut and Sushupti. But people who are doing astral travels, they are seeing things, they are doing, where are they? Or people who get the outer body experience, where are they sitting? Give a guess.
So Turiya means it's like that. So we know the place or we don't know the.
So Turiya is the fourth state, which basically means you are in a combination of a physical body, but you are in a pure conscious state. Like Ramana Maharishi. That's Turiya state. Simple example. He has the body needs the things, he knows about it, but he is completely cut off from the body. He is in a pure conscious state, where even when he is walking. So he's able to segregate his consciousness from the physical body completely.
Okay.
That's Turiya state. That's
So
a Turiya state. Ramana Maharishi will be here. This is a meditation state, right? That is what you're actually trying to achieve, right? My question is, when you are doing astral travels, where are you going? Which state are you in?
Swapna?
Turiya State. Astral
No.
travel.
Turiya state is you are in pure consciousness state. See, when you're doing your astral travels, you are aware of your physical body, but you are traveling away from it.
Okay.
You have segregated it,
Okay.
but you are still attached to the physical side of the body.
Is it Swapna,
Swapna,
sister?
right? Yeah.
Swapna?
So you will be in this state here, where your inner body is in a Sushupti state or a Turiya state, but your physical body is in a Jagrut state. But causal body is not in a Jagrut state anymore.
Okay.
Because your physical body is there, you are aware of your physical body, but your causal body is out. You are completely going somewhere else. That's why my thinking is you will be in Jagrut physical, but causal body is in Turiya for astral travels.
Yes, correct.
So why are we having this conversation to begin with, right? See, what I'm trying to get to is, we generally sit in a meditation and we always say, let's go do meditation, thoughtless state. But at least I was trying it from last 2-3 days, right? Can you demarcate the time in your body when you just moved away from Jagrut to Swapna? Because generally people will have, when you say Swapna, you are all dreaming. Dreaming is one. Thoughts are also some part of Swapna only, right? Because you are now doing some manipulation. If something happens like that, I will do something like this. He said X, but I did not say Y. That's also a Swapna state, because you're using your mind to say something, do something which is not existing anymore. Physically, in a reality, it does not exist. Till you do it, it's not a reality. So when you move from the Jagrut state to the Sushupti state, which is basically a state where you are complete thoughtless, how many of us have seen the transition while we do it? If you have not seen that transition, can you focus for the next 1 week to find out when do you drop from Jagrut to Sushupti? If you are able to identify the point when you are moving from Jagrut to Sushupti to Turiya and back to Jagrut, you are actually heading towards this state slowly and steadily. Because it is not very simple. First is to move this direction from Jagrut to Sushupti, and then Sushupti down, and then to move towards Turiya. But if you are able to identify when consciously my physical body from Jagrut state and my causal body from causal body from my Jagrut state transitioned to Sushupti state. And then what and how it triggered back from your Sushupti state back to Swapna state or Jagrut state. Or if you are doing, astro travels, or if you're doing writing, or if you're seeing something, right? When do you switch back to your normal state the way you were when you were sitting on the meditation? If that transition consciously you are able to identify that, okay, now I moved. It's very difficult. It's not as easy as I'm saying here. Reason being, I tried it. Once you drop into Sushupti state, your consciousness switches off completely. You are completely out. Your brain is also not working at that point in time. But a fraction before you drop, you will remember that state. Because if you continue to remember the state, naturally you will never go to the state. You will get stuck between Jagrut and Swapna itself. To drop to Sushupti state, you need to let go of your entire thoughts. But a fraction before you drop into Sushupti state, you would know. And a fraction before you get out of Sushupti or Turiya state, and you're back into Jagruta Sapna, also you would know. Only thing is we never focus on it. It's a very fraction of second where we know we went into or came out of the state where we are in. Because I know a lot of people, when we are having this conversation, we keep saying that when we are having group meditation, well, it was good for the first 15 minutes and then just thoughts came in. But what triggered it? What triggered you, or when did it trigger you to get to Sushupti or Turiya? And what and when it got triggered to come back from that state to first two states of Jagrata Swapna? If consciously you are able to focus, you will be able to move towards a Turiya or Turiya Jagrut, Turiya Swapna, all the other states really, really fast. So this will be achievable. But for that, consciously, every time you meditate from now on, consciously, just a fraction before you move or switch to your state, consciously realize that you are switching your state. Where I just sat, after eating or after having all that thing, and I just sat on the meditation, I'm in a Jagrut state, and suddenly thoughts are coming in. I'm strategizing, what will I do tomorrow morning? How will I react to something if happens, something like that? Some thoughts are coming from my kid, school or food or whatever. Right? That's a Swapna state, technically. Because what you're thinking, doing is nothing is true till it happens next day morning. Thinking won't, that anything may happen. All the strategy is fine, right? But then suddenly from that stage, you move to Sushupti state where everything becomes thoughtless. Suddenly you are slept. And suddenly some pain comes in your body. And then you wake up. So what triggered it? Your physical body, some pain caused it. So that consciously knowing what triggered me to come back will help you to stay longer in that Sushupti state. Because now you are slowly and steadily eliminating things which will cause you to not stay or go deeper into your meditation state, which is these two states. That's the ultimate truth you're trying to get to. Should we try today? I know we have 30 more minutes. Should we try?
Okay, we will try.
So I'll share. Divya, shall I share the audio, or you want to share the audio?
I can play the music, and if you
Sure.
want.
Let's do that.
Okay.
So let's focus would be very simple. Next 25 minutes, we are in the Jagrut state because we had a lot of discussion, conversation, whatever. How do you consciously switch from one state of combination of one state to combination of second state? That's all what we are trying to figure in this session. Okay? Let's start.
Slowly place your hands and eyes for 5 seconds. Count of 5, open your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly open your eyes. Thank you, masters. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Please practice the transition as you do it for next 1 week. Thank you.
Thanks, Andy. Yeah. It's a deep subject, Andy. Yeah.
I know it'll take a while for us to absorb it, but it'll be nice.